nutrition. You know, the more beta carotene you consume, the more vitamin A your body has, which is a fat-soluble antioxidant, which basically means it's not diluted by water. It's going to stay in your cells. It's definitely more in terms of skin elasticity, eye health, your vision.
We're giving people the ability to have something super healthy that is packed with all of the amazing things that Julie has been talking about on the call all over the country, but at a convenient basis. And then we're also using geofencing technology so that when the consumer arrives to the location, they're going to park in a car hop spot, and you're going to have somebody bring your smoothie or your juice right out to you, already paid, ready to go.
Welcome, I'm Ryan Hicks, and this is Modern Business, the podcast to learn from franchise business leaders and explore new business technology. Our community is about sharing knowledge and tools that help us achieve our goals in business and beyond. Thanks for being here, and welcome to Modern Business. Today, we welcome two special guests to the podcast, Mr. Jessie Williams and Julie Conseco from Main Squeeze Juice Co. This month, the month of March, is National Nutrition Month. And in the spirit of National Nutrition Month, this podcast is filled with health and wellness tips. Julie really knows her stuff. And throughout the conversation, we oscillate back and forth between general nutrition tips and learning about their business, which is Main Squeeze Juice Co. They're now awarding franchise licenses across America. So what to expect in this podcast? We chatted about a range of topics, including how to eat the right colors and what that means, what nutrients help with skin elasticity, eye health, speed up metabolism, and even improve cognitive functions, what Allium and NCT oil is and how it can help you. And on the business side, we talked about how convenience and wellness is changing the game in food service. And we learned about how they've created a competitive advantage through technology, their product and their menu, as well as modern branding. So check the show notes for links to the resources that we mentioned in here. There's a lot of good stuff in here. And as always, enjoy. And please leave us a review with your comments and thoughts. Cheers. So we're joined today by Jessie and Julie from Main Squeeze Juice Co., which is a New Orleans-based franchise organization that serves cold-pressed juices, very healthy. And in my opinion, this organization is poised for tremendous growth. Jessie and Julie, welcome to Modern Business.
Hey, Ryan, how are you?
Thanks so much for having us. We're excited to be here.
I want to start off and let each of you briefly introduce yourself. Jessie, what is your role in the company and what fires you up about it?
So Ryan, I am one of the franchise sales executives for Main Squeeze Juice Co. The main thing for me that really fires me up is giving people the opportunity to be the best versions of themselves, and then also giving our partners the opportunity to have something in their portfolio that not only drives cash, but like I said, is also helping all of their consumers.
Great. Julie?
Yeah, so I'm a registered dietitian, nutritionist. So I actually focus really as the in-house dietitian for our company, whether that be with recipe development, ingredient research, and I've also actually gotten really involved in terms of the operations and food service, and really making sure that we're creating a really great, well-oiled, fast, fresh, delicious machine in terms of this franchise. So I get excited because everybody that tastes our product absolutely loves it. You taste it and you can't ever go back to something else. So it's something that we get really excited about, to share our passion of health and wellness, because it's only growing in the nation and across the world. So it's something that we're really excited to share with everybody.
Well, I agree with that hypothesis, because that's why on the call today. We were in Dallas, and I think it was Jessie. I met Jessie as he was chatting with the mutual.
It was me.
Stan Friedman, and Jessie said, "Ryan, you've got to try this. Just follow me." And then I went out and tried it, and it was super great. So I agree.
Yeah, it was a detox. I think it was our detox.
It was a detox. That's right.
Yeah, sometimes those conferences can be a little rough. I think I needed it. As I mentioned in the little intro, March is National Nutrition Month, and I actually didn't know that. So in the spirit of that, Julie, tell us a little bit about what that's about and kind of why that's significant to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, March is National Nutrition Month. I'm not sure how long it's been around per se, but I know that it was established by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. So that's my professional academy. It's the one that certifies the actual registered dietitians across the country. I think they also work in Canada and things like that. But so every year for National Nutrition Month, there's a different theme. I think right when the new My Plate came out, that was the real big focus of, build a better plate. So there's different themes because we have to kind of remind the consumer, as a dietitian, I tell people this all the time, you have to remind the consumer about what they need to look for. We eat all the time because we do have to eat to live, right? So, but the trick is not living to eat, right? So this month's theme is actually going further with food. That's the theme. And so I find that to be an incredible message because even when we do eat healthy, and I'm 100% culprit of this myself, we're eating healthy, we kind of get into these routines and we'll eat the same food, we do the same things, we get more comfortable, and honestly, that creativity is lost and that curiosity of new foods and flavors is gone too. So, going further with food means trying new fruits and vegetables and different grains and, getting a variety of colors and flavors. My favorite thing is to tell everybody to eat the rainbow because when you actually eat a variety of colors, you're getting a variety of nutrients. So those colors are reflective of that. And whether that's an antioxidant or an enzyme or anything, those are all super beneficial. So going further with food in terms of the main squeeze, why I get so excited is because we allow people to have that variety and to go further with something that tastes really great that, usually would be a treat, but actually, goes further and it's actually nutritious and delicious at the same time. So, we've got about 4 to 5 pounds of produce in one 16-ounce bottle of juice. It's a lot easier, and also some people don't like kale and we can put it in a smoothie and you have 2 servings of it for the whole day. So that's what gets me excited. And I'm sure I'm like bubbling over myself. I'm over here, but it's really exciting to see that our company can offer that variety and really the benefits. That one great choice this National Nutrition Month is actually going to spiral into other better choices throughout the rest of the year.
Nice.
Preach, Julie, preach.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm taking notes. So let's go just for a second. Let's go higher level. Talk about some of those colors because let's act like I know nothing. So talk about some of the colors and what that represents in terms of nutrients.
Yeah, absolutely. So, one of the easiest that everybody's very familiar with is beta-carotene, right? It's that orange color. It's what we see in carrots, squashes, even things like your orange bell pepper, right? That orange color is that orange beta-carotene. And so what that is it's really interesting. So plants have these specific properties that you can't find anywhere else. You can't find them in meat. You don't even find them in as many grains as you do in fruits and vegetables, just because of the way that they grow. So they have beta-carotene, which is actually a precursor nutrient to vitamin A. When we digest it, so, we intake the carrot, we're not consuming vitamin A. Actually, we're consuming beta-carotene, and the enzymes in our body convert that beta-carotene into the super antioxidant of vitamin A. So it's this reaction. Your body's this amazing machine, and it knows what to do with these nutrients for sure. But so it's kind of, think of it more as it creates this fantastic chain reaction. The more beta-carotene you consume, the more vitamin A your body has, which is a fat-soluble antioxidant, which basically means it's not diluted by water. It's going to stay in your cells. It's definitely more in terms of skin elasticity, your eye health, your vision. Even beta-carotene is actually fantastic in third world countries because they're even fortifying rice with it now because there's such deficiencies and people are losing their eyesight at too early of an age. So it's a really incredible nutrient. So these nutrients are within the foods itself, and you do also get more out of them if you consume them from the real source. I say that all the time as a dietitian. We can take supplements. I take a vitamin every day, but you're only going to get the best and most efficient results from that vitamin if you're consuming it from the source. So beta-carotene is a great example. Another one is my favorite is the blues, the phycocyanins. They're the antioxidants that are in blueberries and blackberries. You can even think of like deeper purples like eggplant, things like that. They all have that blue property, and that's what's actually really an amazing new antioxidant that's being studied. I was doing a ton of research on it, researching our E3 Live Blue Magic drink, our Alive juice, and it's really incredible. It's shown to improve metabolism. It's insane for improving cognitive function and I guess preventing cognitive decline. So, even dementia or just as we age, our brains deteriorate a little bit. So it's a really good thing. We don't sleep enough, so we kind of need to boost our brain some. And then also in terms of reducing inflammation. I always tell people, when in doubt, these juices and things are going to reduce inflammation. That's what a lot of these antioxidants and nutrients do. They really calm down your whole system by functioning. So they're called an antioxidant. Right? Mm-hmm. So basically what that means is preventing oxidation. Oxidation is, if you've ever heard the word free radical, that's what happens, and it goes and adds oxygen to your cells and damages them and can make them toxic to your body. So these antioxidants, their job is to basically they're your protectiveness. So they prevent that oxidation from happening. So the more you consume them, the more antioxidant effects you're going to have as well. So that's why it's good to have a variety of them, because they do all have different properties. Every color absolutely represents a different functionality.
Well, that is great. What does it take?
I'm sorry if that was a
No, this is amazing. The reason why I was pausing for a second there is because I was taking notes. So obviously, other than a lot of hours of studying, what does it take to become a registered dietitian, and why is that important when it comes to your brand and maintaining that status with your menu?
Yeah, absolutely. So being a registered dietitian, it's a process that starts really your first day of college. For me, it was spring semester, freshman year of college. But so you have to go through, you have to first go to an accredited undergraduate program. Not every college in the country has that. So there are specific courses. And that starts from biology, basic nutrition, food service management, all the way up to, my microbiology and my biochemistry, your metabolism classes. You basically spend 4 years understanding and learning what nutrients are, what they do for you, how you cook with them, how you clean them in the food service industry, and then also what they do in your body and what the benefits are in the long term in terms of medical nutrition therapy in the hospital and whatnot. So it's a really extensive undergrad program. People can get distance classes and things like that. I know there's some really great online programs that people can do remotely, obviously, but I did mine at Louisiana State University. And so it's 4 years of undergrad. And then you match. You actually have to apply to a dietetic internship. And these dietetic internships, they're fairly competitive. It's about a 50% match rate, mainly because there's just not enough programs for the demand of students that are coming out. So I was lucky enough to match with my first choice of Tulane School of Public Health and Tropical Medicine, which is in my hometown of New Orleans. That's why I was so excited to go. And then these internships, you're basically paying to work for free for a year or two, but it is really great experience. We had to do, it was like, I think I worked in almost 30 different types of locations and nutrition-based, whether that was public health, it could have been at an elderly home, it was in food service, it was at the WIC clinics. We got to understand in every aspect of what food and nutrition is like in this world. Wherever food is involved in nutrition and health related, we got to see a part of it. So that's what's really great about being a dietitian is you're required to get the knowledge in your undergrad, and you're also required to work it and to live it and to learn from colleagues and other peers as well. I'm sure everybody knows you get a lot just out of working like that. And then after the dietetic internship, you can either do a 1 or 2 year program. Mine was a 10-month program. And what you do after that is you're now able to take the registered dietitian nutritionist exam. So you do have to do the undergraduate program and then the dietetic internship to actually take that certification exam. So and then once you pass that exam, you are a registered dietitian, which is exciting. And you just do some continuing education credits every 5 years just to make sure we're up to date on, because nutrition changes every month probably is what it feels like, but definitely every year. So, but yeah, it's a lengthy process. And, it's funny, when I started, Jessie and Thomas, our CEO, they were pounding me like, Julie, what is a nutrition course we could get people? Like, what can we do? There's all these things online, and it's one of those things that it takes so much more than just a couple hours to really understand and to really be able to share nutrition knowledge and advice with other people. But what I always tell people is staying up to date on current knowledge, and that's what, I think my job is in this company is making sure that everybody is up to date and our franchisees are knowing, okay, this is the newest trend in smoothies. It's keto or it's paleo. We all know that gluten-free is a huge craze. making sure that, they basically have me as that resource, and that knowledge and that credibility at the same time. We can do marketing research videos and people can feel safe and confident that I know what I'm talking about because I know what research articles to look at and what makes it a good study or not. So I think it definitely adds a lot more credibility in terms of what our franchise is offering because we are specifically in the wellness industry, right? I mean, that's what we're doing. So it definitely gives us a leg up on any other company out there because while I've seen other people cross-promote with dietitians, there's nobody that really hasn't influenced the decisions in terms of the product and really the view of how that's gonna evolve throughout the years.
Talk a little about your menu. What is your menu like, and what different types of juices and things do you offer?
Yeah. Well, so we have 100% plant-powered menu, which is my favorite thing to say. I don't like to say vegan as much because it scares people, but plant-powered is the way to be. So we do have 13 different juices and 12 different smoothies. And then we also have wellness shots, and we even started bringing in some new hot coffee drinks.
What's a wellness shot?
A wellness shot is basically a 2-ounce concentrated shot. So we put in things like our Pure shot. It's like lemon, ginger, and cayenne, and it's like potent and it's intense, but you can have it because it's just 2 ounces. So, it's basically super concentrated. We do things like wheatgrass or a spirulina extract, things that you really couldn't, maybe wouldn't want to drink 16 ounces of, but the health benefits are worth it, and they're so good for you. So those are the ones you shoot down.
That's what you needed after that detox at the Franchise Expo in Dallas.
Yes, definitely. You should taste that right after it. Yeah.
The Cure shots are remarkable, to say the least. They work wonders.
When are you going to be in DFW? We need to get some folks out here, so I'm going to have to fly to Louisiana now.
Funny, Ryan, I'm actually going to be in Dallas Thursday, so I may be able to bring you a little treat.
I'll be in Austin this Thursday, but that means that you've got things working in DFW, and I like it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, baby. Absolutely. Always.
Definitely.
So that was the menu. I stopped you. You were going, Julie. I stopped you, and I said, what is the shot? You 13 different juices. You have the shots. What else?
Yeah. So we've got our juices, our smoothies, our wellness shots, and then we also, because we know that we offer a lot of cold items, we decided to bring in what we call our fueled blended line, it's a really awesome plant-based coffee drink, kind of a play off of the Bulletproof coffee. So we use the Bulletproof Brain Octane oil, which is amazing. It's basically one of the purest forms of a medium-chain triglyceride. It's what people call MCT oils. You'll hear that said a lot. But the beauty of this is you can find MCT oils in a lot of things, but they're combined with some other fats. It's not 100% MCT. This Brain Octane oil is like super refined. There's also no taste, but it's 100% pure MCTs, which is really great. And these medium-chain triglycerides, like I was explaining, kind of how beta-carotene can convert in your body, these MCTs can kind of do the same thing. And what they do is they go to our really good, beneficial, healthy fats and omega fatty acids. And that actually can help with fat burning, definitely with satiety and promoting a sense of fullness because we take a lot longer to digest fat than anything else. It definitely takes a lot longer in our digestive tract. So it's a really great thing. And talk about cutting inflammation. A healthy fat does nothing but that in terms of that. And then we also use a coconut butter, which I really love. As opposed to coconut oil, coconut butter actually has a little bit more electrolytes. It's got some fiber, kind of a little bit more nutrition. And it's also fairly tasteless, too. And then we blend that with a local Louisiana coffee. We get it from Acadiana Roasters. I think it's a chocolate pecan organic coffee, which is absolutely delicious. And the cool thing about it is we actually blend it all in our blender. So we still make hot coffee in our blender like our smoothies, which I just find to be so fun. So we put it all in there, and it's so good. And it comes out frothy and milky, and just you would never know that there was no milk in there. It's absolutely delicious.
Goodness.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we've got that. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. I'm here. Listen, I just love hearing Julie talk about the nutrition side of things. It's very, very impressive, and just being able to explore other brands that are out there, and we'll leave them kind of unnamed, but they don't really put an emphasis on the true health of all of their products, and I think that's really important. And to go along with that, they definitely don't go after the taste with the health of the product.
Right.
So with Main Squeeze, you're going to get the best of both worlds. You're going to get the healthiest option for you and your family, and then you're also going to get something that tastes phenomenal that's really going to encourage you to come back for more.
Talk about training and how that's important. Obviously, you're consulting with folks as they come in, and they're going to have a lot of questions. And so I've got to think that training is a big focus for you. How does training and training cashiers, and how are you looking at that and providing the ongoing training for your franchisees?
Yeah, absolutely. So me and our CEO, Carl, definitely spent a ton of time developing the training process and our training manual. And the good thing is we know that there's going to be several aspects for training in terms of this business. We know, for one, there's the opening store training, which was really fun. We got to finally do that for, we've been planning it and we have all this insight, but it was great to actually get our hands into it and actually do it opening our Katy store in February. And so that involved really our first priority is customer service training in terms of our employees. That's what we do. Main Squeeze is first and foremost an experience. When people come in, that's what keeps them coming back for more, in addition to the taste of the product. So customer service, because we know that one thing is we're new, we're going to have little mistakes in terms of our staff doesn't know how to work the POS system. So customer service was priority one. And then we're working on different things like efficiencies and process, making sure they're following checklists appropriately, so that the store cleanliness is there, the wait times aren't too long. And then we also been working really closely with our Lake Charles team to make sure that, I actually got a nutrition intern there through a local dietetic program, and she's been able to try different efficiencies and really do different processes so that we can try them out before we even have to implement them throughout the system. So we found some really, really great processes and equipment, and we're super excited. We learned a lot, but we were pretty impressed with how well we did opening the first one. And then the other part is going to be our franchise training, right? So, we've got absolutely that on-level store training. The franchise training is going to be really in a 3-part series. So what we're actually going to start out with is about a 2-week e-learning program. So we've created these really great videos in terms of what our company is, what are also those final wrap-up things as we're going through the project in terms of getting their space open and getting their vendor account set up. That e-learning training is going to be really remote, and what the manager will do with the owner will do with their manager as well. And then we're going to have an on-site training. So we actually bring them to our corporate office in New Orleans. We're going to do about 7 days of strict training, and that's going to be, we're going to do even a mock kitchen in terms of trying to make the best smoothie and things like that. We do actually classroom style. We're going to teach them what are the benefits of juicing and what is the benefit of every single smoothie, and how do you market this to your local community? How do you cross-promote with other fitness centers and gyms? And, really, one, how to build a successful business, in terms of the processes and the functionalities of the store, but also really how to get them to extend their reach even further beyond just what they can do in the store, or how they can involve the community back with them. So that's the second training. And then we actually have a development specialist go in a few days. I'm not sure if it's the week before, it's 4 or 5 days before they open, and they're going to train the actual people in that store specifically, to that store's model in terms of, does it have the drive-through or does it have different storage units and whatnot. And they're going to spend about a week or two there actually training on site right around that opening time. So we are there every step of the way. I think the fact that we're doing 3 different ways in terms of e-learning, individual videos, classroom style, also a little hands-on, and then hands-on training as the group in store right before opening, it's the perfect mixture for success. And then we give the staff that really great training, and we do once a month team huddles where we take advantage of that team training. We know that our team is our frontline, they're our frontline employees. They're who the customer sees. They're who greets the customers. Our big thing is making sure, one, our employees, we tell them all the time that it's not just about selling juice, and it's not about selling smoothies. And, we don't want you to suggest an add-in to make more money. We want you to do this because we want you to transform lives. Every sale that you make, every juice, every 6-pack is truly a life transformed because, as I mentioned before, one small good choice, one good step in the right direction can literally lead to leaps and bounds and just this awesome spiral into great behaviors and positive outcomes for somebody's life. So, and our staff really feels that, they understand that they're not selling something that's crappy or not good for somebody. They can feel great in what they ask these people to put in their smoothies and to add to their 6-pack. So, definitely connecting the staff to our mission, I think, was a really, really big thing that the Katy community received overwhelmingly very well. And we're very proud of that too.
Absolutely, we are. life-changing missions. That's exactly what we're here to do.
Yeah.
And it starts with that one good behavior. I like how you said that, because it's so true in every aspect of life. You mentioned a second ago the technology piece, and Jessie, I know you and I have chatted about a few different things that set your group apart and what you're doing. Talk about how you're looking at technology and how it's helping you differentiate.
So the number one thing that we're looking at when it comes to technology in this industry, being the juice and smoothie industry, is, there's two things. The first thing is going to be inventory management. So with most juice and smoothie bars, I know you and I talked about one other that uses one that is, they use an inventory management system that isn't quite so good. But most of them are using, brands like Square and Clover, just things that are, cookie cutter box softwares, which is totally fine. I mean, you're going to get the job done and you're going to make money doing it. But for us, we want all of our partners to be 100% in control of every dollar that goes in and out of their juice bar. So we've developed a proprietary CRM point of sale system. So when I say CRM, I mean, customer retail management, meaning that it can manage everything that has to do with your business, from onboarding your employees, checking somebody out, to up to the minute reporting for everything that you've done, including discounts, voids, returns, cash chill opens or cash chill open requests, the whole 9 yards. But it even goes a step forward. So it auto builds all of your purchase orders, and in time, once we have the data to make sure that everything's functioning properly, it will also automate your ordering process for you as well, which is just something that no other software is going to do. But for me, the way that we look at it here at Main Squeeze is your business is a pie. So you have your payroll slice, you have your fee slice, you have your rent, utilities, your set pricing piece of the pie, and then you also have your cost of goods piece of the pie. So the two pieces of that are variables are payroll and inventory, right? So your cost of goods. So what we've done is the system is actually going to be able to tell you when all of your hot zones are daily, so that you know when to appropriately have staffing, so that you're not having employees come out that are, just sitting around doing nothing. You're not understaffed when you are really busy. But then on top of that, with the cost of goods piece, our system truly understands the fluctuality of produce. So meaning that when you take in a purchase order of kale, blueberries, strawberries, bananas, almond milk, apple juice, what have you, it knows all of those prices that you just paid for all of those items, and it automatically updates them in your system every time you receive a purchase order. Okay, so what that does for you is it makes sure that you always have an accurate cost of goods on everything that you do. Even going a step further with add-ins and swaps and things like that. So we give our customers the ability to augment any of their smoothies. So if you want to come in and say, hey, Jessie, I don't want banana smoothie, I'd like to add cauliflower, which is something that we do, which nobody else does. It's a phenomenal additive for smoothies, gives it the same taste and texture, and adding some cancer-fighting nutrients in there as well. I'll let Julie talk more about that.
He was talking about our new elevated menu. And so what we offer is, so a lot of our smoothies, the beauty of it is we don't add any ice or any water or any fillers, right? So you're getting 100% plant power in that smoothie. There's no fillers or anything that's really taking up space. But that being said, we use a lot of fruit and produce as the base of that. So the calories and the sugar can just get a little bit higher than a typical smoothie, and that's because you can fit a lot more in that 16-ounce or 24-ounce cup. And so what we're offering, because bananas is a good base for a lot of our smoothies, we take a lot of care in our bananas. They're at a specific ripening stage, and we chill them to negative 10 degrees to make sure they're the perfect consistency. But we actually found that a really good replacement for that, if you do want lower calories, you do want to lower the carbs, what we can do is actually add in what I call a secret serving of veggies. And so what we do is we'll swap in a little bit of cauliflower in place for that banana. So the cauliflower is actually the new base. And so there's obviously a lot less sweetness and things like that. But the beauty of cauliflower, and that a lot of people don't know, is that it's tasteless on its own if you haven't cooked it yet. It's actually one of the top superfoods. It's got I'm blanking on the phytonutrient name, but it's in the same family of vegetables as like broccoli and Brussels sprouts. They are Allium. That's what it was. Okay, so it's Allium, and it's fantastic phytonutrients. It's really cool when you heat it, or you cut it, or you slice it. That's why when you cut an onion, you actually smell that flavor as opposed to when it's open. Or when you heat the cauliflower, you smell those weird properties. But as it's raw, you really don't see or taste anything. So it's completely tasteless, and it's adding in literally a secret serving of cancer phytonutrients. It has things like choline, which is also really great for mothers. It's really good for brain development, and we don't really get it a ton in our diet. And it's also got tons of B vitamins, lots of fiber, and like I said, it's in the class of vegetables that is the most cancer-fighting as well. So it's funny, cauliflower is the new rage vegetable. Everybody loves it, and it's about time it's on trend. It's been the most healthy vegetable over kale for centuries. It's just nobody knew it.
Cauliflower, isn't that right, Julie?
Yeah, we're cauliflowered. That's right.
I'm back now, guys. I actually I was in a little meeting room here, and the reception was really bad. Is it a little better now?
Yes. Yeah. Sounds great.
Okay, perfect.
Let's keep popcorning back and forth because, Julie, I actually have 3 follow-up questions. I'll just have to shorten those down. But Jessie, okay. I want to get...
If you guys want to do the software piece again, just let me know. I didn't realize I was even going in and out.
Yeah, it was going in and out a little bit. Talk a little bit about, so the 3 things, you and I kind of just were chatting about, what differentiates you. Just bullet point those kind of at a high level and dig a little bit deeper into how you see yourself stacking up against the competition out there. Obviously, I think we've touched on one, and the passion shows through when Julie's talking about it, but it's your product and the health and wellness aspect of what you're actually offering and actually make an impact on lives. But unpack a little bit more about what separates your group.
Absolutely. So I think we actually hit on 2 of them. So the products and then the software, the technology aspect that we're doing just from a revenue and cash flow perspective is just phenomenal, second to none. You're not going to get that in any other brand in this industry. It's just not going to happen. We are years away from anybody else in this industry with our software. The last thing,
by the way, it comes from a background of having done that in a different industry, correct?
Right, absolutely. So, and just to be very candid, we're all kind of know. We're all very familiar with franchising, right? So, my CEO, who is actually Julie's older brother, Thomas, he is our CEO. Him and I both left a brand called In-N-Out Smart Repair. We grew that from 10 to 120 doors sold in about 18 months. Very successful brand. And then Nick Fontenot and his business partner, Carl Como, who are now our business partners as well, we're doing the same thing in that industry with a brand called Fix My Phone. They took it a step further, though, and with that Fix My Phone brand, they were able to build this proprietary software system that we've now been able to convert and augment to work with the juice and smoothie industry.
That's excellent. So you're bringing practical experience, having built franchise groups with this same kind of core team, and then also having executed software at a system that has some scale over 100 units. That's a really good accomplishment. Kudos on that.
Right, absolutely. So, so we're definitely familiar with just this, the whole rigor of building a franchise company, right? So the last thing that kind of sets us apart in our eyes, and I assume most people's, is the brand itself. So, and when I say the brand, I mean the culture, I mean the logo, the art, the graphics, everything that we do. And this is just kudos to, again, the founder, Nick Fontenot, who he also did web development for many years. So he's just got an eye for making things look very, very professional. So we've definitely taken a lot of time in crafting all of our branding to make sure that it all fits and it's all clean and it's classy. And it really, truly just makes people inspired to change their lives, right? So, you go into some juice bars in the industry and, listen, I'm not bashing them by any means. I think what they're doing is awesome. I've used juice bars like that countless times through, the last 10 years. But at the end of the day, you want everybody to feel comfortable in your establishment, not just the people that are experts on juicing and experts on nutrients. You want people to come in and feel amazing, even though this is the first time that they've ever tried a juice product or a super dense smoothie product. So that's what we've taken and kind of run with, really, is when you walk into a Main Squeeze Juice Co., we just have beautiful wood and very clean white colors, and we actually allow the rainbow, the juices, to dictate the color of our juice bar, right? So as Julie said, that's where you're getting the most of your nutrients, is the different colors that we have. And when you walk in, we have this beautiful open air fridge that is just filled to the max with 16 ounce and 8 ounce cold pressed juices that are pressed right there in our juice bar, ready to go. So it's just that classy brand to make everybody feel really good about changing their lives.
Nice. I like popcorning back and forth. Julie, can I ask you, what are some, and I might be putting you on the spot here, but what are some resources? Like, if I want to learn more about a lot of the different things that you've talked about, what are some resources just in general that you would point people to?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have a good bit of information available on our website. So mainsqueezejuiceco.com. So basically, I think it's the FAQ section. You'll see it's up at the top, and that's got one of my favorite things is our cleanse book. So that's going to be. It's not just, hey, here are the juices to drink and go cleanse for this amount of money. It really takes an in-depth, really great explanation of what is fresh pressed juicing. What are the benefits of juice? One, the way that we juice our juices is it's 4 times more nutrient dense than any other juicer or any other juicing process, because it's cold pressed and we never heat the product. And then also, what's in a juice? What's the benefit of taking out solid foods from your diet on a juice cleanse? So that booklet is really informative, and it's also beautiful. As Jessie notes, it's our branding. I mean, it's you kind of feel happy just looking at it because it's so pretty. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Julie, would you mind explaining to Ryan and really anybody that's listening what cold press means?
Yeah, absolutely. It's fun. I got that question a lot when I first started, because you think that that's just like you're in a cold room pressing it or something. That's what everybody asks me. But really, so you'll see a lot of juicers out there. And what it does is, so think about it. You basically have to create this solid food and extract it into a juice, right? So you're going to have to find some way to break down that product to get the juice out. So a lot of juicers, they're called centrifugal or masticating juices. So what they do is they actually break down and they grind the product. They heat it a little bit because it's such an intense grinding process. It naturally creates heat. It's moving so fast at the speed with the mass of stuff in there. So it's heating the product, and it's also going to leave a lot of pulp at the end. It doesn't strain out the pulp and the things like that. So the 2 downsides of that kind of juicing is, one, the shelf life is a lot shorter. You only get about a 30-minute shelf life from that kind of juice. And then the other downside is it's less nutritious. So heat, a lot of our great vitamins and minerals, we hear about B vitamins and antioxidants and phytonutrients and even the living enzymes, heat kills them. Heat denatures them. I mean, a lot of these are heat sensitive. So heating the product really does alter the nutrition of the final juice, right? So what cold press means is that we're never heating the product whatsoever. So when our juice machine is, I always brag about this. It was created by a rocket scientist, and it's got about 19 patents on it. And what it does is it's basically a 2-part machine. There's kind of like I say it's like a top cheese grater. Like a motorized cheese grater is the top part of our machine, and what it does is it spins in a circle, and you can push the produce in there. It's going to just grate the food down, almost like it's grating beef, right? And so what that does, it never heats it. It's just making it smaller, and then it puts it into a little bag. And what our process is, and why it's cold pressed, is that we're never heating the product before we squeeze the juice out of it. So like I said, we've got a 2-part machine. We've got the cheese grater-like machine up top, kind of grating down the produce just so it's a little bit smaller pieces, but without ever actually touching a blade or heating the product. It's really an incredible process to watch. And then it goes into our press bag, and that's where we actually cold press the juice right out. So trying to like think of a good analogy, but basically it's kind of like you sandwich this bag with metal plate. You know, you have this bag and you sandwich it with metal plates on either side, and our machine just presses it together. So we're literally squishing out the inside of it. Kind of like when you squish a sandwich together, all the stuff comes out. So we're literally pressing the stuff out, and we have a nice fine weave bag, so no pulp comes out either. So benefits here are that, one, it's proven to be 4 times more nutritious than other juicing methods because we're not heating it. So the enzymes are there, the antioxidant properties are definitely there, and then the vitamins and minerals like the B vitamins and vitamin C, which is, very, very heat unstable, they're going to be there a lot longer. And then also the shelf life. So the shelf life can last up to 7 days with the kind of juicing process we do. And that's why we're actually really specific about our juicing process and our juicing machine, because that shelf life is super important. And it's also something that way the consumer can take it home for a cleanse, and they can take it home. They don't have to drink it right then and there. It also makes the colors last a lot for years. Jessie said we've got this beautiful reach-in display fridge, and that fridge looks so gorgeous because our juices are extracted so beautifully. The process really speaks volumes into what the final product is too. And it definitely, you can smell and taste the difference. Our favorite thing is when Jessie and I, again, will just like the smell. It smells like vegetables in here. It smells so good.
Yeah, it smells amazing, man. And it's just like, that's a true testament to the brand itself, man. It's just the smell. When you walk in, not only is it gorgeous, not only do the juices look gorgeous, but it smells phenomenal. I mean, all you have in there is chopped up vegetables, and fruit, and just the aroma that you get from all that stuff. It just gives you energy almost immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of like you guys are giving me energy, because I grew up, I was never a fan of vegetables. I eat a little bit of vegetables. Now I'll eat broccoli. I'll eat my
right.
a little bit, but I never really ate my carrots, and I
just meat and potatoes,
like,
huh?
Yes, I'm just your standard meat and potatoes from Texas guy, but this is actually quite exciting because Julie, you mentioned earlier about being curious and trying new things. This gives kind of a safe avenue for someone like me to do that, and then someone that's a fanatic like you, obviously you can stay curious. So I think that's really cool, and I think that you're definitely going to be making an impact. And that's what I also want to talk about is, Jessie, talk about the importance of making an impact both on the business side and then also on the health conscious and the wellness side.
Absolutely. It's tremendously important. So as I said before, we're giving families that are looking for their first investment, or maybe this is, a restaurant group looking for their 20th new restaurant that they're bringing on board with their company to, scale. We're giving people the ability to have something super healthy that is packed with all of the amazing things that Julie has been talking about on the call, all over the country, but at a convenient basis, right? So when you see most juice bars, most smoothie places, I'm not going to say most smoothie places, I'll back up. Most juice bars, you have to walk in to get their product. There's no convenience aspect. So another thing that we're doing with the technology is we're going to have a customer portal and a customer application that's going to give people the ability to order and pay via Google and Apple Pay straight from their phone. And then we're also using geofencing technology so that when the consumer arrives to the location, they're going to park in a car hop spot, and you're going to have somebody bring your smoothie or your juice right out to you, already paid, ready to go. So just giving people the ability to be healthy on a convenient basis, because today that's all people care about is convenience. That's why the McDonald's and the Burger Kings and the Taco Bells of the world are so successful, because you can hop right in the drive-thru and get out in 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes in most cases, depending on what time you go. So just giving people that avenue of a healthy lifestyle at a convenient basis it's going to be life-changing for so many consumers. And then from the business aspect, we're giving people, as I said, families with their first investment, and then, restaurant groups, upwards of, 19 to 20 restaurants, giving them the ability to have something in their portfolio that is driving cash and helping people at the same time.
It's beautiful. Julie, what say you?
I think that honestly, like I always say, our product is what sets our brand apart the most. It's not something you can find anywhere else. There's no other smoothie bar that has no ice smoothies. You can't go and buy juice like ours in a grocery store due to pasteurization and really hardly any other juice bar have the quality and the variety of juices we do either. So, our product blended with, I think, our innovation, our team is constantly thinking of new ideas and new processes. And we were looking at shaved ice. I think we were there doing juice training, and we got on this kick of new shaved ice flavors and things like that for the summer. So, we're constantly innovating. Our brand is always evolving and for the better. And as I mentioned before, the trend is wellness and the trend is convenience, as Jessie said. More people are eating their meals out. More people are not cooking at home. They're literally doing takeout or fast food or sitting down at a restaurant for an experience, and they're willing to pay that price for it now too. So we're completely poised to succeed with where the market's going. So it's a product and a brand that I think anybody can get excited about, and especially once you taste it, just let everybody know you're going to be sold for life. So
the juice is worth the squeeze.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's all I'm going to say. And listen, I'm going to hit on that one more time with the convenience-based thing. So let's talk about the McDonald's and the Taco Bells of the world, right? So McDonald's is in the process of going to an all-natural beef patty. They also have already released a vegan patty in Denmark that they're trialing as we speak. Taco Bell, they hired a registered dietitian nutritionist in their corporate headquarters to help augment their recipes so that they're healthier. So if the big dogs are taking and spending their money to make their products more healthy, then we know that what we're doing is right in line with what everybody wants.
I agree. And it sounds like the juice is worth the squeeze. Is there any parting words of advice other than just come try our juices or be conscious of the things that you've spoke about? Julie, is there any parting words of advice that you'd have someone that says, I really like everything that I'm hearing here, and I've never really been health conscious? Any parting words of advice?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We can go with the message of the month, which is just try and go further with your food, whether that's trying new herbs and the regular family spaghetti night that you're doing, trying to add in vegetables to your own homemade smoothies, or venturing out to your local juice or smoothie bar, whether that be main squeeze or not. You deserve it. Don't ever feel like you can't spend that money on yourself. You are supposed to care for your body. It is your temple. You only get one of them. Love yourself is definitely a big one, a big thing that we share. Love yourself and love others. It's really the culture of our team and our staff. And so definitely love yourself. Go further with food. You deserve it, and it's not going to be so bad.
I love that. Jessie, if the folks are listening, they want to find more information on how to franchise your business, where do they find you?
Absolutely.
And where do you point them?
Absolutely. So they can reach me directly at Jessie@mainsqueezejuiceco.com, or they can go to www.mainsqueezejuiceco.com/franchise.
Excellent. You guys are my new main squeezes, the first folks on my Rolodex to call whenever I have health and nutrition-based questions. But thank you guys so much for your time. And
of course. And one thing I want to add, Ryan, is the one thing that Main Squeeze does is we never compromise. So that be with the products, with our partners, with our locations, with everything that we do. And we recommend that all of our consumers and really everybody in the world chooses that same path. Never compromise. Do what's best for you. Love yourself. Love others.
Boom. Love it. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan. We'll talk soon.